Hello, Internet. I am the AB Wings. I get some more fan fiction from the great and powerful Iron Raffra. Thank you very much for your fanfics. I'm gonna do a blind reading of them now. It's a nice day out. Getting my beer. Not drunk yet. Working on it though. Alright, let's do this. Apparently I got two. Two for the price of one. Yay me! This first one is called In and Scout. Disclaimer. I don't own the Zoe series, Hammerspace, or Tina. Ooh, we got two other peoples joining us. The Mr. Earth versus the Derek and the Mr. Smith and Company cartoons. Alright. Sharing the spotlight tonight. Works for me. And hopefully I keep my voice down so I don't bother my brother. But, if I do, you'll see him somewhere in the background. Alright, let us begin. Perfect, Zoe said as she finished putting on her junior muskrat uniform. I can't wait to show the new recruits. She walked outside her house to find Jill and Tina both dressed in their junior muskrat scout uniforms. That's a mouthful. Tina, Zoe stated, I'm glad you can make it. Thanks, Tina replied. I wouldn't miss it for the world. Is this the only new recruit? Jill asked. Minnie said she has some more, Zoe said. Zoe, Tina, Jill, Minnie called out as she gave all three of them a big hug. I'm just going to assume she did it all at the same time. Just sort of smashed them in. One big hug. It's nice to see you too, Minnie, Tina said. I can't breathe, Jill gasped. Did the others come with you? Zoe asked. They sure did, Minnie replied as she released the others from her hug. Then she pointed to two other girls who were also wearing junior muskrat uniforms. Already? Alright, I guess they're just handing out uniforms like candy. Along with them was Minnie's brother Theo. This is my neighbor and good friend Christine Lovington, and the coolest cousin in the world, Diana Angelbraid. And Theo's here, too, Minnie said. Hello, Christina said. It's nice to meet you. Hi, Diana shyly added. How do I get into these things? Theo complained. I don't know, Theo. I think they'll make great scouts, Zoe stated. We'll make sure that you will be earning badges in no time. Thanks, Diana replied. Is Milo around? Minnie asked. No, Zoe answered. His family's out of town. Well, that's a problem, Minnie said. I promised Theo he'd have something to do while we're at our retreat. Then Zoe noticed Nicole walking out of the house. She picked Theo up and ran over to her older sister. Hey, Nicole, Zoe said in a fast tone. My friend Minnie came here from Vector City for the big junior muskrat retreat, and we need someone to spend time with our brother while we're away. Could you do it? Huh? Nicole replied as she didn't catch most of that. Oh, I should have said all that really quickly. Thanks, sis, you're the best, Zoe stated as she handed the pickle to Nicole. We should get to the school, Jill said. The bus should be leaving soon. Bye, Theo, Minnie called out as the girls left the Zamboni house. And thanks again. The things I do for her, Theo grumbled. Both Nicole and Theo looked at each other, and they were not pleased by the company that they'd have to put up with. Meanwhile, Sid was strolling downtown to see if there was anything interesting going on. He quickly noticed the girls on their way to the meeting, and his eyes were glued on Christine. Oh, no. Whoa, he thought, she's beautiful. Sid watched as the girls made their way to school, where the other scouts were meeting up. What are you doing? Wendell asked as he noticed Sid. I just found the perfect girl, Sid replied. Didn't you say that last week? Wendell stated. This time I mean it, Sid said. So who is she? Wendell asked. Some new girl who's joining the Muskrat Scouts, Sid explained. Then all the scouts and the scout leaders got onto the bus, and it drove off onto the campsite. Gonna guess the bus drove itself. It was a magic bus. It's a magic school bus. "We have to follow them," Sid stated. "There's no way the girls can survive in the woods." "You do know they do this retreat every year without any problems," Wendell reminded him. "But I have to help that girl," Sid insisted. "She'll need somebody to save her." To be fair, I think Christine would be kind of a damsel in distress. Just to be fair. That's just how she is. Then he thought about Christine and various other junior muskrats showering him with kisses. "This has bad idea written all over it," Wendell said. "So are you coming?" Sid asked Wendell. "Might as well," Wendell replied. "Somebody needs to call 911. The bus pulled up to the campground and various girls stepped out of the bus. They quickly made their way to the scout leader, who was holding a megaphone. "Attention, junior scouts," she said. "You will each be given various tasks for different badges. When you complete one, return to a leader and you will receive another badge. And all scouts will get a chance to try for the camp out badge at the end of the night. Good luck to everybody." "Let's see," Jill stated as she looked at a list. "Our first task is to get wild honey from bees." "Good! I have a perfect plan for that," Zoe cheered. Meanwhile, Nicole and Theo were on a bus heading to the mall, and Nicole wasn't enjoying any of the people staring at her. "I'm going to get you for this, Zoe," she grumbled. "Why couldn't you at least ride in my purse?" "I told you I'm not traveling in some cramped area like some object," Theo snapped. "But this is humiliating," Nicole stated. "Go whine about it on your blog along with the rest of your teenage wanks," Theo replied. "It's not like I'm enjoying this too." "Just keep quiet when I'm with my friends," Nicole ordered. "I may not look at it, but I'm actually 18, Theo told her. I won't be ordered around by someone younger than me." And the two continued to argue throughout the bus trip. Around that time, the scouts found a good beehive. You always need a good beehive to start with. "I'm not so sure about this," Jill said. She was dressed like a flower with yellow petals. "Don't worry," Zoe told her. "You just pretend to be a flower while I trap the bees with my backpack, and the rest of you can get the honey." "Doesn't that sound a little cruel?" Minnie asked. "I'll let them out later," Zoe explained. "I still don't like it," Minnie said. "Can I try my own way?" "Sure," Zoe told her. "There are other hives in this forest." "So what's your plan?" Tina asked. "I'm going to ask the queen for some honey," Minnie explained. "I'm starting to like Zoe's plan better," Jill said. "It seems less painful." "And it sounds more interesting," Tina added. "I think I'll stick with Minnie," Diana stated. "Thanks, cuz," she said as she gave her cousin a big hug. "What about you, Christine?" "Oh, well, both plans sound good," Christine explained. "How about I go with Minnie? But you can use my backpack, Zoe, as long as you promise to let the bees out." "Thanks," Zoe replied as she took Christine's backpack. "And don't worry, I will." "Will the plan still work?" Tina asked as Minnie's group left to find another hive. "Yes, it will," Zoe said. "I only need at least one person to get the honey." "Got it," Tina replied. Jill stood still as Zoe hid in the bushes, Jill stood still as Zoe hid in the bushes, knocked on the hive. I think you forgot an ant there. Various bees flew out and turned their attention to Jill. As they got close to her, Zoe jumped out of the bushes and trapped them inside Christine's backpack. "Don't worry," Zoe said. "I'll let you guys out when you calm down." At the same time, Tina filled 3 jars of honey and brought them back to her friends. "All right, let's meet up with the others and get the badges," Zoe stated. "Hope they're as successful as we are," Tina said. The girls walked off to find their friends just as Sid and Wendell made their way through the forest. "Hey," Sid said, "it's that girl's backpack." He dashed over to the backpack and picked it up. "So her name's Christine," he stated as he looked over the backpack. "I wonder what she keeps inside of it. Oh, gee, I wonder what's going to happen." Sid opened the backpack up and swarms of bees flew out. He screamed and ran as fast as he could while the bees chased him. Wendell took out his first aid kit to figure out what he needed for the situation. Meanwhile, Minnie and her friends found another hive close by. "You guys stay here," she told Christine and Diana. "I'll handle this since I'm the experienced scout." Minnie walked to the hive and knocked on the door. "Excuse me, Miss Queen Bee," Minnie said. "Can my friends and I borrow some honey?" After a while, Minnie returned with 3 full jars of honey. "Congratulations, Minnie," Christine cheered, causing Minnie to blush. "Was it too hard?" Diana asked. "No," Minnie replied. "The bees are very nice. I'm surprised no one's thought of this before." "Hey guys," Zoe called out as she approached them. "Did you guys get your honey?" Christine asked. "We sure did," Tina replied. "Did you?" "Yes," Minnie said. Let's bring the honey back so we can get started on our second batch, sewing a campfire poncho," Jill stated. The girls traded their jars of honey for some badges and sewing supplies. Then they found a nice spot in the woods to sew their ponchos. There were many threads tangled to get through, and for some threading the needle was easier said than done. Excuse me. But the 6 helped each other get through the tough parts, and Christine finished first and held up a poncho with a large heart on it. "Wow," Jill stated. "That's amazing." "That's my neighbor," Minnie cheered. "Thanks," Christine said. "It's nothing, really." Minnie was the next one to finish, and she held up a poncho with a rainbow and various people and animals on it. "That's nice," Christine told her. It looks great," Diana added. "Thanks," Minnie said. "Is that you and us on there?" Tina asked. "Yes," Minnie explained, "along with Theo and Hutch and my mom." "I'm done," Jill said as she held up a poncho with Precious and various animals on it. "Who are these guys?" Minnie asked. "They're my pets," Jill told her. The next 2 to finish were Tina and Diana. Diana's had a large ice cream cone on it, while Diana's had various books on hers. Of course, there would be books everywhere. "That looks great, Diana," Minnie said as she gave Diana another squeeze hug. "Thanks, Minnie," Diana replied while gasping for breath. Yours looks good too, Tina," Minnie added. "Thanks," said Tina. "How's yours coming, Zoe?" Jill asked. "I'm almost finished," Zoe replied. Then why am I saying Joe? Then Zoe held up a poncho that featured her fighting a 3-headed dragon on it. "That's interesting," Diana stated. "Where do you come up with these things?" Tina asked. "It happened last week," Zoe explained. "It's quite an interesting story. Why don't we invite some of the local birds here while you tell it?" Minnie suggested as she took an object that looked like a kazoo out of her hammer space. It's a kazoo. I'm sure she'd have one in there anyway. "Oh, what's that?" Tina asked. "It's my bird call," Minnie said. Minnie blew into the kazoo-like object only for an odd sound to come out of it. "Oops," she said. "This was my wild rhinoceros call." "It's fine," Zoe said. So it all started when, as Zoe started her story, the ground began to rumble and the sounds of loud crashes were heard in the distance. "I think we should run," Christine stated. "Make sure we take our ponchos so we can get the badges," Tina said. The girls grabbed their ponchos and ran just as some rhinos charged through the woods. Meanwhile, Nicole was not having much luck as her friends and various other people continued to stare at Theo. "What is that thing?" one girl asked. "I'm a pickle," Theo grumbled. "It talks," another girl gasped. "Will you all stop this?" Nicole shouted. "Zoe practically forced me to take this thing with me." "In other words," Damien said, "your sister put you in a pickle." That joke made Theo so enraged that he started fuming and foaming at the mouth. The crowd ran off, shouting "Mad Pickle," while Theo backed Damien into a corner. "I'm sorry," he cried. "I won't do it Don't worry, Theo said as he calmed down. I'm not going to hurt you. Congratulations, Nicole sarcastically remarked. You just scared my friends away. Honestly, the things I do for my sister. You think that's bad? I was just flung out of a catapult because my sister and her friends wanted to go on a scout meeting, Theo complained. I only went because I happen to be the only adult she can carry around. You don't know what it's like living with Zoe, Nicole replied. She's a magnet for trouble. Last week, a three-headed dragon flew into our city. She ends up fighting it, and guess who got caught in the crossfire? It's not so easy living with Minnie, Theo stated. She's always causing trouble or finding ways to bring trouble to her, like the time she played a cursed video game and unleashed evil rabbits on the city. You know, you two have more in common than you realize, Damien said. He does have a point, Nicole mentioned. We seem to have little sisters who cause trouble. That's true, Theo added, but you wouldn't trade your sister for the world? No, Nicole replied. Neither would I, Theo stated. And I also hate puns too, Nicole added. That was a good one, Damien replied, to get a glare from Theo. You're not so bad for a pickle, Nicole said. And you're not so bad for an angsty teenager, Theo said. Aw, they're friends now. They should hang out more often. Back at camp, the girls got ready for their next batch. Fishing! Tina got the boats, fishing poles, nets, and life jackets ready while she waited for the others. Minnie, Diana, Christine, and Jill came carrying some huge baskets. Are you guys ready? Tina asked. We are, Christine replied. Where's Zoe? Diana said. She said to start without her, Tina stated as she put on a life jacket. The other girls placed their baskets on the boat and put their life jackets on just as Zoe approached them. She was wearing her swimsuit, some goggles, a snorkel, and swim fins while holding a net. Ah, she's going to do this hands-on, I see. What are you doing? Diana asked. I prefer the direct approach, Zoe explained. I'll see you guys later. Then Zoe dove into the water and swam off to the bottom of the lake. The other girls climbed into the boat and rowed to the nearest fishing spot. So, did you guys get the bait? Tina asked. Yes and no, Minnie answered. I felt bad about stabbing the worms with the hook, so I let mine go. Aw. Me too, Jill, Christine, and Diana added. So how do you expect to catch fish? Tina asked. We make our own bait, Minnie replied. Then she held up some pizza. It's pineapple, chocolate chips, and extra cheese, Minnie said. My own personal recipe. Sounds like you. But are you sure the fish want the pizza? Tina asked. At that point, various types of fish jumped into the boat. I guess they like the pizza, Christine observed. But I think the boat's getting a little full, Diana said. I think you're right, Jill stated. We're sinking! No! Sure enough, the boat was slowly sinking as more fish jumped in. That must be a really good slice of pizza. And on the other side of the lake, Sid and Wendell had noticed their predicament. The boat's sinking, Sid stated. They're going to drown. They're wearing life jackets, Wendell remarked. They could just swim back to shore. Hang on, Christine, I'll save you, Sid said as he dove into the lake. I need to work on a cure for idiocy, Wendell stated. Oh, good luck on that. I don't think there's a cure. The girls tried to toss some fish out, only for more to jump into the boat. We have to toss the pizza, Jill said. You're right, Minnie agreed. Pizza overboard! She threw the pizza far into the lake, and the fish stopped jumping into the boat and swam over to the pizza. The boat stopped sinking, and the girls looked around at the fish remaining on the boat. I think that's enough, Tina observed. Let's show the leaders our fish and get our badges, Dana said, and then we can return them to the lake, Minnie added. At that point, a giant fish swarm swam up the lake. The others noticed that Zoe was riding its back. "Well," Christine said. "Where did you find that one?" Minnie said. "They're at the bottom of the lake," Zoe explained. "Now let's get back to shore and get those badges," Jill stated. Meanwhile, Sid swam out to the boat but ended up finding the pizza. "Hey, free food," he said to himself. Sid was about to take a bite until a large shadow fell upon him. He looked around and saw another fish that ended up swallowing both him and the pizza. "Rest in peace, Sid. We will never forget you." Sid pounded on the fish's guts, giving it an upset stomach and causing it to spit Sid right onto the muddy shore. "Dang it." Are you ready to admit that this was a dumb idea?" Wendell asked. "Never!" Sid stated as he ran off to find his crush of the week. Wendell just sighed as he followed his friend through the woods. The sun had just set, and it was time for the final badges, setting up a camp and spending the night in the woods. Ooh, test of courage. The girls pitched their tent, chopped some wood, and set up traps around the area. I don't see what the traps are for," Diana said. "We need to protect our food," Zoe told her, "especially the junior muskrat cookies. They're Scout's main source of income." "It's considered a great honor to sell them," Jill added. "Now let's get this campfire ready so we can roast marshmallows," Tina said. "Or some vegetarian options," Minnie added. "There are vegan marshmallows, and they are pretty good. They're just expensive." The girls placed some wood in a pile and made a small fire pit. Zoe lit a match and kept the sparks strong enough to create a campfire. The girls put on their ponchos and sat around the fire roasting marshmallows. "We should get those badges in no time," Tina said. "And if you succeed at this, you'll get the honor of selling Junior Muskrat Scout cookies," Zoe said to the new recruits. "And this is also a good time you'll see the local wildlife," Jill mentioned. She made some odd noises, and then a few bats surrounded her. Everyone but Minnie ran from the campfire when the bats came. "They look cute," Minnie said. "I know," Jill agreed. "Maybe later I can show you the local snakes and spiders. Zoe never wants to see them for some reason." I always thought Jill and Minnie would make good friends. I need to draw art of that. Meanwhile, Sid and Wendell searched through the woods to find Christine and the others. But the only thing Sid could find was the traps set up by various scouts. "I don't know whether to admire you or pity you," Wendell said. "And this is why you'll be single for the rest of your life," Sid replied as he stepped on another trap that dumped mud all over him. Wendell just sighed as Sid continued through the woods, only to step on another trap that dumped leaves on him and caused some bells to ring. Sid ran off before anyone could notice him, but he wasn't watching where he was going and ended up crashing into a pile of Junior Muskrat Scout cookie boxes and a trap that triggered a warning siren. While that was going on, the girls had just finished putting on their pajamas and were sitting inside the tent. "So what should we do first?" Jill asked. Hang on, let me get a swig of water. "Why don't we reveal our secret crushes?" Zoe said as she grinned. "That'll be the perfect way to show our unity." Zoe stared nervously at Christine the second she heard the idea. "I'll go first," Zoe said. "I like Milo." "I think everyone knows that," Jill remarked. "The new recruits didn't," Zoe replied. "So who's next?" "I'll go," Tina said. "I like some of the kids next door." "You mean your neighbors?" Christine asked. "No, from that old cartoon," Tina explained. "Many of them are so cute and I can't pick one." "I guess I'll go next," Jill said. "I kind of like that new boy. I got a Valentine from him recently." The other girls oohed as Jill started to blush. "I'll go next." "Oh no, I'll go next," Christine stated. Minnie started to sweat bullets as she anxiously waited for Christine to talk. "I like..." But Christine was interrupted by a loud siren before she could reveal her crush. "Good thing you don't know who it is yet." The girls ran outside and saw Sid standing by their boxes, but they couldn't recognize him since he was covered in dirt, mud, twigs, and leaves. It's Bigfoot, Tina shouted. And he's trying to steal our cookies, Zoe added. She then took out her crossbow and fired a warning shot next to him. Tina picked up some rocks while keeping her eyes on Sid. Listen, Mr. Bigfoot, we won't hurt you if you just leave the cookies alone, Minnie warned. But Sid wasn't going to let his chance to get girls and the thought of free cookies made the deal even sweeter. He picked up a few boxes, only for Tina, Minnie, and Jill to start throwing rocks at him. Aw, even Minnie. Sid dropped the boxes the second he saw Zoe aiming her crossbow at him and ran away. Great job, Scouts, Zoe said. We saved our cookies. Sid ran as fast as he could, only to trip and fall down a nearby hill. Wendell saw the whole thing and picked up his cell phone. Hello, 911, he said. I think this will call for an ambulance. The next day came, and Nicole was doing some sketches while Theo was reading one of his favorite books. This has been a relaxing weekend, Theo stated. I know, Nicole added. It usually is when Zoe's away on her camping trips. Hi, guys, Zoe called out. The girls arrived, pulling a wagon full of various boxes of Junior Muskrat Scout cookies. So, did your camping trip go well? Theo asked. It sure did, Minnie said. We earned us some new badges. And we saved our cookie supply from Bigfoot, Tina added. Would you guys like to buy some cookies? Diana asked. Why not? Theo replied. This weekend wasn't as bad as it could have been. Yay! Minnie cheered as she sold a box to Theo. We sold our first box! Hey guys, Wendell said as he approached them. Hi, Wendell, Jill said. How's the weekend been going, Joe? There again with Joe, Zoe asked. A little busy, Wendell replied. I've been observing Sid. His stupidity landed him in the hospital again. That's too bad, Christine said. Why don't you buy him a box of cookies? That might make him feel better. Sure, Wendell said as he bought a box. I think it will. Let's get going, Zoe stated. These cookies aren't going to sell themselves. Wendell walked to the hospital while the girls walked downtown to sell the rest of their cookies. The end. This made me laugh a lot. This was super funny. Dehydrated. I'm going to take a break and then I'll read the second one. But this was funny. Thank you so much, Mr. Iron Refra.